Alright guys, hi, welcome back to my channel. I know I said I was over podcasting, but we'll talk about it at a later time, okay? Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name's Megan if you're new here, and if you're a returning viewer, guys, it's freaking cold! So if you watch me fidget, you guys know, okay? We gotta get cozy, because it's like 43 degrees outside, and my house was, you know, built in the late 1700s, so it is cold in the dining room. This isn't the dining room, this is the living room, okay? It's cold, all right? Anyways, so I figured today we just kind of do like a coffee chat, hang out, and I would tell you guys a little story time, okay? So I hope you guys like story time, you know, because I didn't know how else to share this, but I figured it's about time I address it. This is pretty much my history of Halloween, and as a family, where our love of all things spooky, Halloween, and horror came from, because it's not just me. I'm not the only one. It's not just my kids, because I am. It's my mom, it was my great-grandmother, it's my grandmother, it's all of us, all of the ladies, and Ryden in this family are Halloween spooky lovers, all right? So it's not just like a life, it really is a lifestyle for us. Where do I start? So growing up, movie time, you know, is like a big deal as a family, going to the movies, seeing movies, just throughout, you know, prior to everything streaming directly at home, you know, this was like a big deal. So I guess we'll start with my great-grandmother would take my mom, so her grandmother would take her to go see scary movies in theaters, right? So that's like where it started. That was their thing. Going to the movies to see scary movies was their thing. So the fact that my mom loves to do it with Ryden is just kind of like this like very cute and nostalgic like repeating pattern. But anyways, I don't know if she said that she saw it with my Gigi or at what point, but I can tell you that Salem's Lot, she told me this the other day, was the movie that messed with her forever. That was her, oh, that's the one that sticks with her. So, she also, like, okay. So that's really that part of the history of repeating. And as far as my grandmother goes, who you guys, she's not really into the horror aspect, but she's very into the interior decorating of everything and like the theming. So my love and my collection of making everything themed and beautiful, she was, we have a lot, actually, hold on. Let me show you. This will put you all to shame, like pre-internet days. Oh God, it's so much easier to have a Pinterest board. Okay, so this isn't necessarily all Halloween. I think most of these, okay, these might be the Christmas ones. Ugh. These are, okay, which one is this? There's more, there's older ones. These are all Martha Stewart magazines and other like country living. I'm just trying to see which year this one is. This is 96, okay? So, it is so much easier to make a Pinterest board now, but this is one of many boxes. I just actually happened to find this while I was going through stuff and organizing of books on books on books that were my grandmother's, or they still are. She's just, you know, she doesn't know I have them now. Of all of her decor and inspiration, because you guys, before social media, before all of that, we have our magazines with all of our recipes. I love it. These aren't the Halloween ones though. Now I gotta move it. Have you ever moved an entire grocery bag full of magazines? Like, I know everybody's like, minimal, get rid of your magazines first because you don't need it. Well, everybody, buy your tangible stuff because the internet could go away. I say that as my career is YouTubing. Anyways. We have all of this, so it's like a huge deal, and this was always my favorite thing when I go to her house, to look at all of the new magazines. They go back further than that. There are more before 96. Anyways, so 30 years of magazines all over the house because there's another stack over there. Anyways, those are all of hers, and she loved the inspiration and the decor and the way that we love to look at everybody's Instagram feeds and what they're posting and those things. Now, okay, sorry, out of breath. So my love for decorating and decor really came from her, and the inspiration of magazines and all of that. That was very much her. So I like to tell everybody that, like, I have generations of decor pieces because we all live in one house that I can really just shop, like really shop my own things. Even though this year I did buy quite a few new things, I didn't in the past 2 years. Let me winded. Okay, so continuing with that kind of branch here, growing up and before I was born, my grandmother and grandfather would host a giant pumpkin carving party. Like, we had my mom and dad had a lot of friends with kids my age, and so we would all come and like do this, and we'd all carve. And this year we're trying to bring it back, and I'm trying to help bring some really cool theming and stuff into it. So like that was the biggest party that as a family we would throw, like cousins and like people, family, friends all know us as the Halloween family for as long as we can because of that pumpkin carving party. Whew, completely out of breath. I know this is just kind of like, this is like the most chattiest random thing, so I apologize if this isn't your vibe, but I just wanted to explain to you guys that it didn't just start with me. I was born in it, molded by it, or whatever Bane says. You really brought into it, or whatever. Whatever that quote is, I love that quote. That's me, but with Halloween and spooky and horror. Which leads to my aunts, one of my aunts specifically always loved horror books and like Anne Rice and all of these things. So at a very young age, you guys have to realize that age-wise, I was like about a year old at her when she was going to her senior prom. Our family is very bracketed. We're close together. So again, my youngest sibling is actually closer in age to Ryden and Aurora than they are to me, and it's actually very funny. Okay, so she loves, back on track, she loved horror, so in horror media and things like that. So she would also had a huge influence as my life, as she and my other aunts, they would babysit me a lot and stuff. So that was a huge thing. And then like my dad really liked horror and sci-fi for the longest time. So he got me really into all of those things. Like with his friends, I remember like I wasn't allowed to watch The Matrix, the original one, when it came out. This is more sci-fi than horror, but you guys, there's one scene that I remember. So my bedroom was actually like right there. And so this is the living room. This is the room that the TV's always been in. And so I remember looking through the door, and it was the scene with like the bug that goes into Neo's belly button and they like melt his face. That image is stuck in my head for a very long time, okay? Anyways, they would have like movie nights and do all of that with their friends and do horror things. Oh my gosh. Okay, so like it's like all ingrained into me. Like I was destined to love it. And then Tim Burton's older films really hit home aesthetically. I think I talked about this in my Ask Me Anything video, where in 6th grade, so 12 years old, we were required to write a paperwork of what we wanted to do as a career, okay? Sorry, the battery died, so, oh, are we a little... Okay, I apologize if the angles changed. The battery in my camera died. It is freezing, so the batteries die really quickly. Luckily, I have multiples. So back to what I was saying was that I wrote a paper about what I wanted to do, and that was that I wanted to be a costume designer for Tim Burton, or his, like, and, you know, that's what I wanted to do. And that really came because after watching, like, what did I watch? Probably Sleepy Hollow. Sleepy Hollow you guys know, iconic, okay? That resonated deep within my soul. Practical magic was a huge part of my upbringing, and everybody always said that me and my other sibling were Sally and Jillian because she had dark black hair and I had red hair. Obviously, you guys, if you didn't know, I'm a natural ginger. If you're a ginger, don't touch your hair, don't bleach it. You will regret it. It just, anyways, now we're here. This is where we are. And so like really we grew up with that. My family used to make soap, so I like grew up thinking I was Jillian and Sally Owens. Like I grew up with that. And we live in a really old house and we have lots of gardens. My mom loves gardening and herbs. It was my life. This was my identity. Like, yeah, that's gonna be my personality for my entire life. And it was. But also, so back to the thing I was saying about the costuming. So those period like pieces were super prevalent and like had a huge impact on my life because we're also not only a Halloween family, we're a history family. So I would go to historical houses, historical tours, historical ghost tours, okay? I've done so many. We just did one on Deerfield. It was Love's first time like doing a nighttime tour with me for ghost tours. Mom decided that that would be a fun thing for the three of us to do as adults because we never really do anything just without the kids, which was really fun. If you guys are new here and you're like, what are you talking about? Lev lives in Boston during the week and I am here with my mom all other time. So it takes a village to raise children. So we co-parent. I get co-parent, which sounds weird, but a lot of the time my mom helps me out way more, and I understand that's not a thing, but that's also not what we're talking about right now. So if you guys can't tell, I'm a little bit all over the place today, but this is how these things go. So we've done a lot of historical things. So the whole imagery of ghost and ghost stories and classic Gothic literature and again, history have a huge impact. And guys, I'm pretty sure if you look at any of my mood boards I make, any of the inspiration of some of my photos, you'll really see that in the imagery. That's not me like trying to be just like an influencer photo, like my actual artwork. I did study photography, so, or in my paintings, which you guys will have never seen ever. Anyways, it's just like a huge thing. So the fact that I get to share this again with another generation and being my own kids who love their own things, like Raiden, we always thought it was hilarious that Raiden could name all of the classic horror movie like villains and bad guys, like instead of like types of dinosaurs. It was just very niche and very us. If you guys met us in the past at any events, you'll know he had a Jason Voorhees sweater that I made. Actually, I'm washing it right now to see if it fits Aurora. I had knit him up that and he loved it. He was over the moon about that. So when we get to experience it, even just going forward, it just means so much to me. Oh my god, I don't know what kind of machinery is going by outside, but it's that season. Hold on. Okay, angle probably just changed again because angles changed again because I had to show you guys that giant tractor thing going by. But so back to, we're all looping through. These are my thoughts. We're really having a coffee chat today, guys. It's like true coffee chat. So like I said, Sleepy Hollow, like really in Practical Magic, if you guys know, are very New England themed things. And being that I am from New England, I'm from Massachusetts, I am super spoiled when it comes to New England's creepy vibes, New England ghost stories, Salem, Boston, all of those fun things that I get. I get to be part of it, and I get my quintessential leaf peeping, and like, it's just like, there was no choice. I had to fill the shoes. I was meant to be this way. And my whole family loves it. It's like our peak season because none of us do well in the heat. It's just like, it's part of who I am, I guess, is loving like stories and history and Halloween because I've lived here my whole life and because my family loved it. So I get to share that love every single day with my kids who also love horror and creepy things and doing all of the Halloween things. They've asked me every time we finish doing something, are we going back again tomorrow? Because, you know, a lot of these things are one-time ticketed things, but that's just not always there. So that's really a kind of a brief history, I guess, of my entire family loves autumn and Halloween. We grew up loving it as in the like my family, we're gonna go back, is farmers. We grew up here. We appreciate the harvest. Oh, I don't know if there's a, I don't know what what you call that, the rainbow corn that you can get that's very autumnal. I'm sorry, that was I don't know what else it's called. I should have looked that up. Anyways, like we would grow that and we would all tie it. There's pictures of me tying it as like a little kid together to sell, growing pumpkins. Oh my gosh, there was somewhere else I was gonna say because of my family. Oh, we also do like maple syrup, guys. Yeah, I'm that New England. We do maple syrup, like big scale. I don't do it here. We don't have any maple trees, but like that was like the Sugar Shack was a huge part of my childhood, but that's winter more than fall. So again, I am so painfully New Englander, Massachusetts, or that there's so many aspects that I haven't even shared with you guys, like my whole upbringing of homesteading and why I knit into all of my things and how I can make soap. And I learned that way before the pandemic and all of like before it was trending and before like I've talked about it before that Lev and I joked about wanting to live off the grid for the longest time and that we actually have the skills that we could, but I enjoy doing what I do now more than I want to be self-sustaining. So I think we've covered everything basically that I possibly could with this little coffee chat. Like, I hope you guys enjoy. I really do like filming and talking with you guys, and based off of the incredibly positive feedback and so much love that I got about why I stopped like showing all of my knitwear. Actually guys, this is the Sanderson sweater in line brain yarn, sorry. This is Dragon Horde Yarns design. It's designed to be a DK and mohair held double, but I just did it in acrylic because guys, this is literally 100% pound of love acrylic yarn because I like to I'm rough with my stuff. Oh, I think so. Wait, thought, there's the thought. I think I'm gonna bring back more creating with you guys after Vlogtober and into December. I think we're gonna, like, the Moon Wreath got such a positive review that, and like view wise, that I think we're gonna bring back more creating like style things together. And so I hope you guys know a little bit more about me, about my family, and we can be friends, and that I continue to inspire you to help you create your own little spooky families in some way or another and start your own family traditions, because that's really what this is that because my family did specific things with me, I was able to be the person that I'm so happy with being, and I get to share it with my kids now. And just, if you didn't have that, just start it now. There's no reason you can't start something together. So with that being said, thanks for watching. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and you come back tomorrow to hang out. And I'll see you guys in the next one. I love you. Bye-bye.